superheroes here to save the day. Armchair superheroes make everything okay.
All right, Armchair Superheroes. We're riding again, baby, and it is the end. We're talking about the finale. Of course, what else would we be talking about the finale but of Falcon and Winter Soldier and Josh?
Lots to unpack here.
Holy shnikes. Let's start with the suit because some people mentioned some things in the chat about the suit, and that's true, but the suit overall, badass.
Oh, yeah. The way the shield pops out from the top.
Yes.
Just the look of it in general, but the functionality of it was really cool too, and the way that he used it. I want to know where he got it from, but it seems like those wings are a little bit more reinforced too. Doesn't look like John Walker's going to be pulling those off.
Oh, he got it from Wakanda. He 100% got it from Wakanda. That's because what's his face? Bucky's like, I need one more favor from you, and then Bucky drops off the case. That's definitely because. You got to think, right? I mean, he deflects a friggin' helicopter. Like that is 1,000% vibranium. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely from Wakanda, and they did a hell of a job. So, and it is very similar to the comics. And what I like what they did a lot is that they it's a mismatch, a mixed match of like different Captain America suits. Steve Rogers Captain America suits, and Sam's suits in the comics as well. So it's pretty cool, and I thought it was just so well done and badass. The one thing was the headpiece Corbin mentioned before, like the way that the headpiece like matched was a little strange. At the end when he's having the conversation and talking to them and stuff was awesome, but like I was a little distracted by like. The whole thing, you know what I mean? I was kind of like, what is going on there? So like that was the only part of it I didn't love. He has the glasses, which are part of it, because he can see things with the glasses and stuff, and so I get that. But it was just kind of like I don't know, just the functionality of it, the way it kind of all worked together was a little strange. So next support, that's a good call in when you like that.
I didn't have too much problem with that, because of the hybrid. Of the Falcon and Captain America, I figured that he'd still have that because that's such an integral part, and especially what they've kind of played up through the episodes. What was it, the first episode where him and Bucky? It's like I count 2. He's like, really? Because I count 6.
Right.
And like I figured that he'd still have that ability to be able to use that for certain situations. I did like how. When they were tracking people down. I'm getting too far ahead. Let's continue with how it.
All right.
So
the entrance. His entrance is dope, right? It's right at the they basically take off right from they were, and he's there. He jumps in and hits the guy with the shield and jumps through, and he looks dope. And then he says to the guy, he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Captain America." And he's like, I thought Captain America was on the moon. It's a great callback to episode 1 when Torres had said that. So it was just kind of funny. But it was really, they didn't stop with the action. It was kind of nonstop action, which I thought was really cool. And again, was it perfect? No. Are there aspects of it that I wish had been a little bit different? Yes. And we'll talk about some of them, but overall, I really liked the way they did everything. The plan that they had was fascinating, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but I think the plan, and so as they did cut parts out because one of the things that they had apparently was the Flag Smashers were going to be setting a virus loose, and they cut that because it was too similar to what's going on right now. Very similar to when the first Spider-Man came out. I don't know if you remember this or not. When the first Spider-Man came out, the climax of the movie, with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, he was supposed to catch a helicopter in between the Twin Towers and web it all up and everything and save a bunch of people in this helicopter by webbing it all up. And of course they had to cut that because it came out in like October of 2001, and they were like, "Well, we can't do that." Like, obviously, So,
Exactly.
similar situation here where they had to cut a fairly big plot line in the movie, and then so that's why the Flag Smasher stuff was a little bit choppy. Maybe not the best stuff, but again, I thought that stuff was pretty well done for what they were trying to do. But it was interesting. So
Yeah, I thought the fight scenes were good. I really enjoyed the action. I just kind of what I didn't like about it is that it was so quick. We pretty much just jumped right into it, and then the rest of the episode. Well, I mean, it had to touch on a variety of things to kind of wrap it up, but it's kind of a little sappy. It was kind of a little bit underwhelming in my opinion. I don't know if that's just me, but I was kind of, and Pat, you alluded to it. I thought we would open up with Bucky, making amends, and kind of build up to that big fight. To have the whole big fight kind of happen right away, um, kind of disappointed me for a little bit, to be honest with you.
yeah, no, I mean, listen, I can certainly understand that, and I kind of agree with it too. Like, there was no, and Emily said in the chat, like there was no build up. It didn't really have much of a setup, but that's kind of unfortunately that, you know what I mean. Like,
if it wasn't like a week between, if because they kind of ended it on that note, right?
right,
So if there wasn't a week between and it was like a Netflix binge, or for people who are just binging through it the first time, I think it's going to play out very well for them. But for us who kind of waited a week and really waited for it to come out,
right,
to have it just jump right into that, and then because those last two episodes could feel like a mini movie, right? Because it's pretty much taking place right where it left off.
basically, yeah.
Where the other episodes have had a little bit of different arc to the start. So if you're just watching it for the first time and binging through it, I don't think people are going to have a problem with it. But in the anticipation for it, I wanted a little bit more of a build up. I don't know how they could have gone about it. Maybe with the Bucky scene, as you were talking about, but that's just nitpicking at a overall a very, very good,
Well, and that's
finale.
and I think that's kind of the point of it, right? Is that it was a very good finale. There were some really interesting parts of it that I thought, like, when you look kind of past what happened and to kind of like how things are changing and how characters in the MCU are changing, I thought it was fascinating. And I've talked about this last week, but like, I feel like Sam has been acting like Steve and walking like Steve, and like the mannerisms and stuff. Like, he was becoming Captain America before he actually became Captain America, and he's kind of been doing it this whole season, which I thought was cool. I did like the fact that like the training video the training montage that he did or whatever came into play like right away. Like, he's throwing the shield. He's good with it. You know what I mean? And the scene with the helicopter, dude, was so dope when he like timed it up with her. And like you said, the thing pops in front of him and he catches it and throws it. Like, unbelievably done. Like, so well done. The action was awesome. Like, that was dope. Go ahead.
Just the problem that I have with Sam as Falcon too, and we'll see how he evolves and how his character evolves, but he still seems like a secondary character to me. He's really struggled with the leaper there, whatever his name is, Batak. He really struggled with him, and that's the guy like this guy doesn't have any super strength. He's just a martial arts professional, and he's athletic, very athletic, but like there's nothing special to this guy. So if you're Captain America, what are you going to do when you face a Thanos level threat? What are you going to do when you face someone who's really a problem in a situation? How are you supposed to hold your own if that kind of worries me a little bit about Sam's Captain America.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. And some people are saying, why didn't they give the kinetic energy that the Black Panther suit had, which I thought would have been a nice twist, especially since it was coming from Wakanda. He obviously doesn't have those powers.
That would have been perfect.
But that would have been dope because right. It would have made up for him not having that serum or whatever. But I think the thing with Sam is that, and someone said this and I just thought it was so like beautiful, is that like his power is like his empathy and the way that he kind of sees the world. You know, and they made allusions to this before, right? And they talked about like people need a hero that looks like them, and that's him. That's who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
just a regular guy who was in the,
right.
you know, and I think that works. But at the same time, it's where I think that works when it's pre-Thanos. You know,
Right.
now that we know about this existential threat, and you know that could happen anytime. We've got Skrulls among us on Earth and everything like that, and I don't know how much. I don't know how much of, and you know that's not to say too. We have some very very powerful heroes, you know.
Right.
So maybe you don't want to OP Captain America too much, but it's still Captain America. He's still an icon, and I
Which is
guess that's
true.
what they're using him more as, is that icon, you know,
But
type level character.
he does now still have the vibranium wings. He has the vibranium shield. Like he is becoming a better fighter, and that's going to come with time as well. Like,
He's a
but
range guy at this point.
right? And him, you know, him. I mean, he caught the bus. Like he caught the truck when no one else did. Right? So like that was interesting. There are some things that I want to kind of get into, do a little deeper dive into. I'm pretty sure, and I might be wrong about this, but I'm fairly certain that when Bucky saves the people that are in the van, right, when he punches the whatever that lock is off
Yep.
and rips the doors open, I believe in the MCU that is the first time that he has actually physically saved someone as opposed to hurting someone, right? And so, of course, he's been fighting for good now for a while, right?
Yeah.
And he alludes to the fact that he's lost twice fighting for greater things than him, first in World War II and then against Thanos. So he's over 2 in those big battles, dying in both of them, right? But it's
Did
the
he help
first
Rocket
time.
Raccoon?
I don't think he saved. No, I don't like. That's what I'm saying is that he may have like jumped in and fought other people to kind of save someone, but he never like.
That was like a true act of heroism.
Right. You know what I mean? Like it was the first time,
Yeah.
and it goes back to what Sam had said to him last episode, which is like, stop avenging and start like being there for other people and like
the
you know, and
pre-Avengers.
being of service, right? And like being of service. You know what I mean? And so like that's I just thought that was interesting because it's showing a little bit of that change in him, and I think by the end of the episode, you see like a lot of that weight has been lifted off of him. That the bag that he gives to her is blue, which I thought was very symbolic of the fact that like he's moving away from, you know, the Winter Soldier and now moving closer to like Captain America and all this other stuff like blue, you know. So I thought that was interesting. Then someone had. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I thought that Sam's storyline, his character arc was really good and really strong, but I think that, you know, Bucky's was more. They both have different things, you know. Like Bucky's was more of like a redemption. Like it's you know, everyone makes mistakes. It's okay to, you know, second chances and atonement and doing the right thing, and you know, even if you've made, you know, it's how you move forward from those mistakes and yada yada yada. And I think that was displayed very well.
Yeah. No,
and Sam's was different too. Sam's was, you know.
Well, right, and it was more subtle from Bucky than it was from Sam, but I thought they did a great job of it. You know, and it's one of those things that I thought was fascinating. And I will say, someone talked about the Walker thing, and you can tell. So it's again subtle. But the key to his music changes when he has to make a decision. Now, they've been playing his music in like a minor key, so kind of it's
good catch.
I just, you know what I mean. So it's I can't take all the credit for it, but someone pointed it out, and I was like, I went back and watched it. I was like, oh my god, like they're right. Like so they've been playing his music in like a minor key, and then when he has to decide between attacking Carly and saving the van of people, he throws away the shield and decides to save the van, and his music starts playing, but in a major key instead of a minor key. So I thought that was really fascinating because they're showing that shift to I'm not all about vengeance. I